Okay, alright, let's start off with the first one, Wireshark. So very simply, using the apt tool, you can just simply install it. So that install Wireshark. Type in the password. Okay, alright. Continue Y to install it. So you have to wait for it for a while. So for this option, we have to select yes. So once the command is done, we can just add our user into the Wireshark group. So just simply run use the mod, add the group Wireshark, and my username is JaredGXZ. Okay, so afterwards we can search for Wireshark, can pin it to dock to get a cool application. Look over here, and then run it. And you can see it started. Okay, next, so for Burp Suite, we just simply have to navigate to the download page and then select BurpSuite Community, Linux x64, and download. Okay, so just give it a while. Now let's navigate to the downloads directory. And then we can see, the Burp Suite shell script. So we just simply have to give it an execute permissions for us to execute it. And then now we can run it on the shell to install Burp Suite. Okay, let's just run it. Okay, sure, let's install it in our home directory. Create symlinks, yes. Okay, alright, let's create a symlink from the USR local bin directory. Okay, once it's done, pin to dock, and can run it. You can see Burp Suite is up. So we can go along with just press accept and then just go along with the creation, and we have access to the Burp Suite Community tool. Okay, so next, Ghidra. You can navigate to the GitHub page, go under the release tab, and install the zip file for the latest Ghidra version. So in my time of recording, it is 12.1.2. Okay, so now from the downloads directory, we can run the following unzip command to unzip the zip file we have downloaded into the opt directory. So note that we have to run this with sudo because this directory is owned by root. Okay, let it run. Okay, so once it's done, you can cd into the opt directory and you can see our new file over here, folder over here. Okay, we can cd into it. And then now we can view this particular Ghidra run shell script. Also take note that the permissions of the opt directory is owned by root, but there is the read and execute permissions given to the other users. Basically means it's world readable and executable. So when we write to this opt directory, we have to be a privileged user, therefore we have to use sudo. But when we actually run files from this same directory, we do not need to be a privileged user. Later on, you'll see that I'll create a symlink to allow any user to run the tools from this directory. However, you can see right when we run the Ghidra run shell script, there will be an error regarding Java. So for that, you have to run the following command to install the OpenJDK. So I found that this particular version, 21, works with the latest, or at least the version I've installed, which is 12.1.2 for Ghidra. Okay, Y to continue, let it install. So after it's done, you can see that Java is installed. And when we run Ghidra run once again, it will work and the Ghidra application will open up. Also, as mentioned before, let's create a symbolic link from this particular binary directory into the Ghidra run script which we have in this directory. Okay, next, Metasploit Framework. So just run this curl command to the source, which installs it to the msf install file, change the permissions to execute it, and then execute it. Alright, so I got this directly from the Metasploit documentation page. So run it. Okay, let's let it load a little bit. Alright, once it's done, we can just run. You can see that the msf console binary is installed in this directory. And when we run this command, it will load the Metasploit framework. So okay, welcome to the Metasploit framework initial setup. Okay, answer a few questions. Yes. Okay, starting the server. Okay, so once it's done loading, you can see the familiar Metasploit framework console with the cool ASCII art over here. Okay, alright, let's move on to the CLI Tools. So I have a bunch over here. So first, Net Tools. This provides a legacy suite of command line networking tools such as ifconfig, netstat, route. And even though this tool has been depreciated in favor of the newer IP tool, it is still widely used. Next, Nmap. I believe this is favored among hackers, used for multiple things such as port and services scanning or live host discovery. As for CURL, this is a command line tool used to transfer data between servers. I like to use it to test HTTP requests. Alright, so SOCAT, a versatile command line networking tool commonly used to transfer data between endpoints. It even provides encryption capabilities. As for Netcat, I've installed the OpenBSD version over here. This is because it provides additional features on top of the traditional Netcat. So Netcat is commonly known as the Swiss Army knife of networking, and it's commonly used to, provide networking capabilities. Right, so now let's move on to the Go-based tools. Let's first go into the temp directory and run the following command to download the source code. After which we can run the following command to remove any existing Go installations before extracting the downloaded file into the USR local directory. Right, run it. Now run the following command to create a symbolic link from the USR local bin Go directory into the directory that is installed by default by the Go installer. Okay, so I got this message over here because I already ran it. But if you're running it for the first time, it will work well. Now run Go version and you can see that is installed right over here. Okay, clear screen. Let's install our first tool, which will be Gobuster. So as of time of recording, this is the latest version from the source. Okay, next, Ffuf. Run a command. Okay, create a symbolic link from a directory into the default installation path. Same for the Ffuf tool. Alright, and now you can see when we check the directory for both tools, we can find it in the USR local bin directory, which is what we have provided to the symbolic link. Now let's run it to check. And well, nice. We have it. So if you're anything like me who is into the low-level binary exploitation and IoT hacking kind of stuff, don't worry, I got you covered. First, run this command over here. So first, binutils, basically a collection of binary utilities essential for low-level analysis. It includes tools such as strings, objdump or objectdump, and readelf, just to name a few. As for binwalk, the industry standard tool for firmware reverse engineering and analysis, commonly used to extract file systems from firmware files. PickleCom, a lightweight terminal emulation tool used to communicate with serial interfaces such as UART. Next, GDB multi-arc, a specialized variant of the GNU debugger, or GDB for short, compiled with support for multiple target processor architectures, for example MIPS, which is commonly found on IoT devices. Last but not least, binutils Miessler, Linux GNU. So Miessler over here stands for the MIPS Little Endian architecture. But why not Big Endian too? This is because Little Endian is more commonly found in modern devices. Run it, and we will install a bunch of useful command line tools. Okay, so once it's done, let's clear screen. And you can see we have access to a bunch of useful tools such as binwalk. Okay, sorry, just binwalk. Right, yes. Okay, strings. Okay, yeah, it wouldn't work without any arguments. Strings version. Yeah, or readelf. You can see a bunch of useful tools for our work. Okay, clear screen once again. So also a little pro tip. You can use the following command to install the GDB enhanced feature, also called GDB GF. Oops. So basically this just provides additional tools useful for low-level debugging when we work with the GNU debugger. So this provides additional tools useful for low-level debugging for when we are working with the GDB debugger. Okay, so a hacking machine will not be complete without a wordlist file. For that, I would like to install the most popular Daniel Miessler's SecList. I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrongly, by the way. But okay, so let's run this command So def one over here basically tells Git to install only the latest commit. Run it, and it will clone into the OPT SecList. Remember once again sudo, because OPT is owned by root and it's only writable with a privileged user. Just let it finish. So it'll take a while because the word list is really huge. Okay, so once it's done, let's quickly clear screen and create a new directory. ESR share word list. And create a symbolic link from the ESR share word list SecList into the installed directory, which is OPT SecList. So we can now directly access the word list from this directory over here. Yeah. So finally, it is time to install the Codex CLI tool. So for that, run the following command. You can see on the screen. So this just basically pulls from source the installer shell script before running it on the shell. Okay, run it and let it load. Start Codex now. Let's start it. Okay, so I found that the Codex CLI is automatically installed in this directory over here. Oops, let me go back. Installed, yes, in this directory over here. Okay, next let's create a symbolic link from USR local bin codex into the path installed as we have seen previously. Now, you can check the path of the Codex CLI and okay, you can see it is here. Okay, let's once again configure the desktop application icon. So the same path again, .local share applications, and you can name the desktop file as such. Okay, key in the following value, name Codex CLI icon. You can download it from the description below and execute. So genome terminal, same, provide the class value which matches the value provided to the startup WM class option over here, and the path that we have created using the symbolic link. Okay, load the new changes. Okay, so now you can see desktop icon, pin to dock, run it, and here we have it running on our terminal. So now you can just sign in, and afterwards you can have access to the Codex CLI directly on your terminal. Pretty simple, right? But if you wish to add additional features such as sandboxing and to see how well Codex CLI fares in a pen testing setup, do subscribe and stay tuned for the next video where I'll demonstrate how we can create a safe and contained environment for Codex. Additionally, I'll run some pen testing tasks to investigate the capabilities of it. Thank you so much for watching this video. Comment down below what other tools you would like me to install, and if you would like a part 2 on this series.